Hi, everyone. I think we're live. Yep. Okay, let me see how this. Hi there. I'm just gonna take 2 minutes to, let this register. This is, I've probably said this 10 times already. This is my first time going live. So, let's take it easy, right? I'm just gonna wait and see for some people to come in. If anyone can verify that the audio is working, that would be great. I tested it a million times, but it's still technology, so. Hi, Libby. Oh, look, all these people. Yeah, so this was the whole point, right, of going live, was I wanted to connect a little bit more with you. And here's the thing. So last year, Cara Bullock said, who wants to go live for Let's Face It? And there was a part of me that wanted to say, yeah, I want to go live. I would like to do that. But I'm just not the kind of person that hits live on their phone and, goes and does their thing. So I had to think about that and get all kinds of technology and buy more gear, and you know how it is. So it took a while, and my idea for this year was to go live with Let's Face It, which I'm probably not supposed to say yet, so quiet, okay? I can't keep a secret for what it's worth. But that's why we're doing it right now, because you gotta practice this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check the chat. Oh, you're all so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we don't break the internet. There we go. That is my paper. Can we have some reference photo thingy, please? Oh, there we go. And then me. So if you guys have any questions during this stream, go ahead and ask. Doesn't have to be about this. It can be about whatever you want. Okay. What I wanted to do with these live streams was to talk about learning and to talk about practice. And I've been painting a lot, but I haven't been producing a lot of artwork because I was painting and I was feeling like I was hitting walls, right? Just like a lot of you, I did not go to art school, so I have no fundamental training. And what I basically do in life is some people call it go with the flow, and other people call it fake it till you make it, whichever one you prefer. But I paint until I hit a wall, and then I wonder what I need to learn, and I go and learn that. It's lonely, right? So what I wanted to do with these live streams was just get some practice in. So for this project, I chose an eye, right? Because I think most portrait artists, they they start out with trying out skin tones, etc., with an eye. And what I wanted to do today was try and mix some skin tones with this basic as red, yellow, and blue. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, by the way. This is really... Yeah, I feel like I'm in a paint group, like a local paint group with my friends. So red, yellow, and blue, and white, of course. And just gonna go ahead and see if we can mix some skin tones with that. The reason why I chose this palette is because I see a lot of palettes on social media. People go like, oh, I use this palette, I use that palette. And while I'm talking, I'm gonna go ahead and sketch this eye a little bit so that we can get going, right? I see a lot of palettes. And some people feel like their inability to paint skin tones has to do with the colors that they're using. So you go in search of a different palette, right? And I used to do this. I would jump from palette to palette, and then I would, whenever I would see someone who made really great art, I would then copy their palette and so forth. And what I was lacking was a basic understanding of what these colors do and how they behave. And once you understand that, it becomes much easier to choose your colors and to choose a palette and to predict basically what each color is going to do. Let's leave it at that, okay? You look at the reference photo, the base skin color. Yeah, so that's basically the color of your skin without too much highlight and without too much shadow. All right, so I have a highlight here and I have a shadow here. And my base skin tone is probably sitting somewhere in the midtones, in the lighter midtones. And I find it easiest to mix that color first. So I'm just going to go ahead and, there we go. When you mix a lighter color, I find it easier to start with white because it's better, it's easier to control the volume of your paint when you're starting out with white. So we add red because you have to start somewhere. And now we have pink. And nobody has this skin tone. So we have to change that up. I'm gonna go for the color that sits a little bit on her cheek. Yeah, this area here. And I find mixing skin tones with this palette to be it's a lot of work, right? Because all of these colors are really far from any color that you will ever find in anyone's face. So now we basically have an orange, a very light orange. And then we add a little bit of blue. And I think that's a little bit too far. Okay, so we added a little bit, or I added a little bit too much blue. So going back with a bit of red and a bit of yellow. Hi, Stephanie. I'm glad you could make it. I think this is pretty, yeah, this is pretty good for now. So we're gonna leave this here. Just gonna take a little bit off. Add some white. So we have a sort of a highlight variety. It's cheating a bit, of course, but let's go. Let's talk about getting some color into your highlights later on. Okay. And now what we need is a darker, warmer color for her eyebrow. I'm working with Golden Open. Kimberly, you asked. So this is Golden Open. I'm going to be honest with you and say that I'm using Golden Open because I wanted to do it in acrylics, and I actually don't have primary colors in regular acrylics. And I have a ton of Golden Open because I used to work with that a lot. So that's why I'm using Open. If you want to replace, then I would probably recommend oils, depending on where you are. I think pre-mixing colors like this in regular acrylics, you would need like a stay wet palette or something like that. They're gonna dry up pretty quickly. If you want, we can do the next eye or whatever it is we're gonna paint in the next live session in oils. Okay, so I'm trying to mix a darker, warm color. And what you will find probably is that this yellow, because it has such a light value, it's going to increase the value of everything that you mix. Yeah, we'll do the next one in oils, Libby. I'm not really bound by any material. Yeah, maybe watercolor. I have no idea how you would do that in a live stream of around an hour. So the next dark color that I want is a little bit more, yeah, a little bit colder. I say cold and I actually mean more towards the blue. Okay, that's good. And you can tell that this colder color is already darker, right? It's because it has more blue. in it. So let's mix a green for the eye. I say green, but it's a very blue, green, gray-ish. So you have green, and now you want to tone it down. So you add its complementary color, which is red. Maybe add a little bit of white. It's still very green. Okay, that's good for me. Doesn't have to be exact, so. Hi, Renata. Yeah, watercolor doesn't like me either. I don't think watercolor likes anyone in particular. So I have two brushes. Here I have my Rosemary & Co. Ivory Pointed Round, which is a round brush. And I have my grandmother's old crappy bristle brush. So we're going to be working with that. This is acrylic paper by Canson. I have the reference photo here. And I'm trying to see where this base color, if you will, this this midtone is sitting. Hi Susie, welcome. So you're gonna see that when the value gets darker, it either gets a warmer shadow color or a bit of a colder one. Yeah, so here you can see that the color is a little bit warmer, whereas here in the shadow it's a little bit colder here as well. So I'm gonna try and mix this color either with this, which is a warmer color, or with this, which is a colder. Trying to control the light a little bit. I hope it's good now. So I'm gonna try and talk a little bit while I'm working, which is not something that I'm used to. Yeah, I think I was talking to Kara about that. I don't know, maybe a year or something ago. And she said, yeah, it's just something that you're used to when you're a teacher, which I'm not. So we all call ourselves teachers. I think it's the word that I think most of you Americans, correct me if I'm wrong, use for something that is essentially an instructor, right? I think teaching is such a magical thing, people who can do that. Okay. So, I'm feeling a little bit rushed. It's funny how that works because I'm so used to having cameras around me. That sounds like I'm a celebrity. I'm not, but when I'm recording my videos and I'm used to talking to this lens. It is a sexy lens, though I will say that. But now it is, with this idea that everything is just going out there. It's a funny sensation. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad. There is no way I can talk continuously for an hour or 2 hours. Yeah, no. Hi, Sally. It's fine to be late. You can join in anytime you want. And just yeah, just join. Maybe have some painting, sorry, of your own. I'm gonna put in the eye white. Bit of a gray color. And then a little bit darker on this side. And when you're painting, I have no intention to be accurate or to copy a photo. For me, a photo is really about what is correct in terms of proportion and the way that light hits certain shapes and certain transitions. And I was working on my panels today for my upcoming expo at the end of the year. And I found myself changing values in certain shapes. I wouldn't say automatically, but without too much hesitation and without too much insecurity. And it was one of those moments when you realize that you've made a little bit of progress, right? You made a bit of progress in your learning, because that's what it's about, right? You process a lot of information and you practice a lot. I see some of you guys, you produce painting after painting, after drawing. There's so much dedication and passion in our community. But it's all an investment to see maybe a little bit of progress, or to see that some things click, right? It's that moment when things click, you go, okay. That's the reward, at least for me. I think it goes for a lot of people. Yeah, so Kimberly, about the brush, I can tell you what to do right now, and it would probably not help at all, but it takes a little while to get used to holding your brush here, and I'm actually sitting quite close because I need to be to the close to the microphone. But whether you hold your brush here or here makes very little difference for your accuracy. And you're going to find that when you hold it here, what you automatically tend to do is put your face a little bit further away from the painting, get a little bit more distance. And that will probably also make you see that you don't need that much detail to get accuracy, right? So what you do need is accurate values. And I'm going to be the first to say that that is a difficult thing. Okay, that is not an easy thing. But that's something we're going to practice here. And try and get a little bit out of that dreaded comfort zone. Okay. A little bit of light going here, and then some light in the there we go, corner of the eye. Okay, it's a little bit too dark. Yeah, that's sitting a little bit too low. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Look, Kimberly, and this is something that I try and tell my students. It's very easy for someone to say, when you do this, then that happens. If that thing that you need to do is somehow already in your system, right? So if somebody was to try and teach me how to drive a car, they would say, just do this, and then the car does that. But I've never driven a car. That is a real thing. So I would have to think about every action I need to take to make that car do what I want and not hit a tree, right? So for somebody who's able to do that, it makes sense. And for me, it does not. What it takes, unfortunately, is practice. It takes a ton of practice. And for me, well, not for me, but I found that art is 50% about creativity, if you want it to be, okay? About creativity. And the other half is skill. Okay? So there are some people who choose not to focus on skill and focus solely on creativity. And that is great. And then there are people who focus on skill and not on creativity. And that's also cool. But I think for most of us, we want a little bit of both. And creativity can be a lot of things, and it can also be what you make of it. But skill needs to be honed, I think you call it, you need to put in the hours. And that can be frustrating. But it can also be very rewarding. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I like this way of working. Trying to relax a little bit into it, but I like the idea that I can almost talk to you in real life. Oh, where's my reference? Here's my... There we go. Oh, acrylics. Why do you dry darker? Why? This is probably the number one reason why I moved to oils. That took some debate with myself. You know, I was very, very afraid to let the... Oh, Lord. Okay. We're good. Yeah, good. Sally, you know, next time just bring some stuff and we can paint together. Okay, I want to finish the iris because it's freaking me out. So what I was saying is this characteristic of acrylic paint is one of the reasons why it helped me decide to let it go as, you know, as my main medium. I was having too much trouble controlling my values, and especially replicating the same value. Yeah. When you go in for a second pass or third pass, my brush is dirty. Let me get... Hi, Suzanne. Yeah, you made it. Great. I will validate any challenge you have. Any challenge is validated. We've probably been through all the same struggles. Oh, Renata, yeah, I admire you so much for going out there. Renata joined a project here in Holland where people were painting outside on a field. Let me repeat that for you. Outside on a field in the Netherlands. Now, you can argue that it was the middle of the summer, but this country does not care if it's summer or winter. It will rain or it will be super, super hot. So, yeah, Renata joined that performance, which was amazing. I actually saw the pictures of it. I think it was 120 or something artworks on a big field, which was great. Okay, I'm having some trouble, and let me just turn it a little bit. I'm having some trouble seeing what I'm doing here because I'm trying to get it right on camera. Let me just fix this real quick. Yeah, that'll have to do. Hi, Regina. Oh, yeah. The weather. What a treat. Oh, there were 600 panels. Are you serious? Yeah, they were huge. I saw them. They were huge. So let's see. What time is it? Only 45 minutes. There we go. We're gonna make some changes and add some details and have a drink first. So it's possible you're gonna hear my son coming home. Yeah, Sally, you know, sometimes you struggle for hours. I'm saying this because I struggled today for hours. I struggled for hours, and then at the end of my painting session, I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go do something else. And I made 3 random strokes, and I was like, damn, that's looking good. You know, it's times when you wonder, what am I doing, and why do I not just have a job at a bank or something predictable? But we love it too much, right? Okay, let's see. She has freckles, and I kind of feel like we need to, or I need to, show that a little bit, or at least indicate that a little bit. So I was saying, yeah, maybe my son will, maybe you're gonna hear him come home. He is at his sports training. He was very pissed off that he was not allowed to skip and watch the live feed. Hey, Josephine. Hi. Hi, thank you for joining. Yeah, so my son, yeah, he is, oh, yeah, oh, I'm definitely gonna bribe him to play, the guitar at some point. Nah, I'm just kidding. Poor kid. He's actually in a band, and he is performing on a stage, which is a million times bolder than I will probably ever be. So, hey, Kosha. Hi. So, I have a cat now. You, you probably know because I talk about her all the time in my stories and such. So we adopted a cat a month and a half ago. She is so cute. Let's see if we can light this up a little bit. It's a little bit dark. Oh, come on. You're supposed to be open. This is my issue with... Well, it's not my issue with Golden Open, but it's the reason why I started using it less and less, because what it does is, after a while, it tacks up, right? And the thing with a Golden Open is that you can actually reactivate it. They have a thinner, and you can also reactivate it with water. And the issue that I had with it was that you would reactivate it on your canvas, either intentional or unintentional, and you would lift the underlying layers. I had some cool effects with that, but that was a stroke of luck. What it basically meant was that after a while, it tacks up, so you can't mix into it like you can with oils. But it's also difficult to paint over because it's tacky, right? So that is one of the reasons that I stopped using it. Okay. I do like it, however, very much for practice. Yeah, I love working with it in, in these conditions. Hi, Paula, welcome. I'm very much enjoying the live chat. It's just, yeah, fun. I was worried that I would have trouble focusing. Like, what are you supposed to focus on? I have a screen and a live chat and then my painting, but we'll get there. Everything takes practice. Sally, yeah, I'm using, this is a Rosemary & Co. Ivory pointed round, which is a lot of words. To say that this is a brush by Rosemary & Co. It is a synthetic brush. I think I mentioned it in a video that is on my YouTube channel. This is the Ivory line, and the Ivory line is, it's quite stiff, yeah. It has a bit of push, which I like because I don't like floppy brushes. So it's also, I think it's been treated with some kind of, I don't know what, but it has a little bit more resistance than most synthetic brushes that I've used. I think a lot of synthetic brushes are so slick that it gives me the creeps. So Ivory line by by Rosemary and Co. I love their company. I love their brushes. And I also have this one. This is my grandmother's old brush. And I think it's a regular hog bristle. Yeah, I know, Libby, they're great brushes. And I think they get a lot of customers from word to mouth. Is that the right? From people liking their stuff. Yeah, Sally, I like stiffer brushes as well. So at this point, what is the time? It's 10 o'clock. We're in for an hour now. So I usually go over and see, you know, what are the areas that need a little bit of correcting or refining. Okay. So I think for an eye, this is fine. This is good enough. You can spend another hour on this. So what I wanted to, what I basically wanted for this live stream was to, you know, get into the flow of things, right? And also because I'm looking at the clock and I wanted to see what I can do in an hour, because I have no idea what I do. I just, here in my studio, I work, and then my son comes and says, "Mom, I'm hungry." And then I'm like, "Oh, it's 5 o'clock. I need to go cook," or whatever. So a little bit of timing is, hi, Marlene. A little bit of timing is good sometimes to see where you're at, and also to prevent you from working into too much detail. And I think that is when you're practicing, especially, it's important, I think, to have a goal and say, okay, I want this and that from this practice session, and not try and do a million things. All right, so that would be my advice. In terms of skin tones, you can do a lot of variation in this, okay? And that is, I know maybe it's a little bit skin tones 2.0, but even if you have a reference photo like we have here, which is evenly lit, yeah, you can choose to change the color of the highlights, or change the color of the shadow, or even change the color of the entire skin tone. I'm not saying the color, but more shifted towards a certain hue. So just for the heck of it, because we're practicing, right? If you wanted to make all your highlights yellow, you can do that. And you don't need to lay in big slabs of paint if you don't want to. You can use I think it's an impressionist method, where you dab little dabs of color in certain areas. Yeah. And because people are looking at your artwork from a distance, right? So everything's going to blend together a little bit. Okay, so this gives a different vibe, and if you can change the highlights, obviously you can change the midtones, and you can change the shadows, and it's a lot of information at once. So my suggestion is that you join me next time in the live stream, and we're just gonna do a different kind of skin tone with a different kind of light setup, etc., etc. And we're just gonna practice all these different skin tones and different light, different light colors, different light conditions. Try and change that up. Just do one after the other, if that's good with you. And what I also wanted was, if you have any suggestions about stuff that you want me to do, let me know. Let me know in the Facebook group or in the comments, anything you want. And we can see if we can, incorporate that. I'm just going to check the chat. Ooh la la. There we go. All my friends are here. I love you. Thank you. You truly make things better, and I know a lot of people say this, and I know, I don't want to generalize, but I know a lot of Americans, you're very generous with your words, and I love that about you. I'm Dutch. We're a little bit more, okay. So when I say that I love this, I appreciate this, I really mean it, because this for me was a really big step, and a step for me personally also to do something that I'm terrified of, and you make it better. So that helps me as a person, and I want to thank you for that, because you're much cheaper than therapy, I will say that. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. I'm hoping to be live again next week, so we can get some flow going. I do want to say that I'm a little bit hesitant to plan things because my mood right now is here, and I got like, oh yeah, let's go do this and that. But that can shift or tilt. You know how it is with me. Oh, hey, there's there's my son. So maybe you can see him. Let's see. Let's see if he wants to say hi.
Hey.
Ja, kom maar hier hoor.
Ben je al klaar?
Nee. You want to say hi?
Hi.
You need to be here. Come here.
I stink. No, I'm gonna take care.
There we go. All right, that was it. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week or talk to you in the Facebook group. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Je bent nog live.